Hey everybody, I'm starting my room tour video right now. And so, this is my friend Aesthetic, and this is my friend Evan, and here's my friend passed out in my doorway. In my room, don't worry about it. Yeah, my room tour. So some of you have been asking about my room, my videos, how I get them to look like this, and other behind the scenes stuff. So I decided, why not just show you where I work and how a Yomarz video gets made? So let's get to it. Welcome to my room tour. So if you've seen my main Yomarz videos, you've definitely seen this. The home of all my games. Up top I've got NES, Super Nintendo, N64, and Genesis. My small selection of NES games. I only have 3 NES games actually. Actually no, I have 2 NES games. I've got Mario Duck Hunt, Metal Gear, and Metal Beer. Then there's all my GameCube games, including the annoying as hell Jungle Beat, Donkey Konga bongo drums. Then you've got Wii, Wii U, PlayStation, which was my absolute favorite as a kid. Also PS2, PS3, Xbox, and Xbox 360. Next to that, I have this awesome solution for game controller storage. I used to just wrap up all my controllers and stick them on my shelf, but that would always be inconvenient when I wanted to just pull a game out. So I looked on the internet for controller storage methods, and I saw someone using this really cool door hanging thing with pockets. Turns out it's actually meant for shoes, but hey, it works great for game controllers, and it's not too pricey either. I mean, he likes it. The larger option can fit 2 of most controllers, even more for small controllers like NES and Super Nintendo. And it can even fit giant things like... what? Why do I have that? Above the shelf is some neat stuff like my shadow hat, some stuffed animals made by my girlfriend. She makes things like this and this. A link to her Etsy store is in the video description. A little Jar Jar Binks, some Sonic toys, the Beatles, Mario, a Zoidberg made by Fizzman Industries that I bought at MagFest a few years ago, a Jackalope, Darth Vader, Vigo the Carpathian sitting on a can of Ecto Cooler, and the charred remains of Mario from my Immobile Mario Ripoffs video. Next up, there's my smaller shelves. I usually use them to include some small background things to tie into the game. Most of the time it's pretty small or out of focus and kind of pointless for me to include, but I like doing it. Up top I have all my CDs. There are some neat video gamey things here though, like my GTA Vice City official soundtrack, which I bought years ago for 35 bucks, and now goes for up to $200 on eBay. Jeez, I might have to just hawk that thing. I've also got a Skyrim soundtrack that was signed by the composer Jeremy Soule. Now I didn't get him to sign it, it was pre-signed when I bought it, but again, this is another thing I bought for like 15 to 20 bucks new that now goes for fuck's sake! Underneath that I've got a little Fallout area with the Steelbook and Pip-Boy from the Fallout 4 Collector's Edition, Pip-Boy's a cheaply made piece of junk by the way, a little Vault Boy statue, and the mini nuke case from the Fallout Anthology Collection. And underneath that is... So I've recently gotten into Lego collecting, and it's taking over my life. I currently have 3 different shelves here completely filled with Legos. Some are old sets that I've rediscovered, and some are new sets. Most are new sets. And most of it's Star Wars cause, well, you know. I mean, it's just so zen building Legos. I love it. But they're so goddamn expensive. Also, I've kind of been thinking about maybe doing a show about Lego, maybe on another channel. If that's something you'd be interested in, please let me know. On the next shelf are all my books and random knickknacks, but I don't really like it that much. Most of it's crappy sci-fi and fantasy novels that I read in middle school and shitty books based on movies and games. Like, I have the freaking novelizations of Metal Gear Solid 1 and 2. Did you even know there were novelizations of Metal Gear Solid 1 and 2? I like the dumb toys though, like my Batman vs Superman Rock'em Sock'ems. Adjacent to the shelves is the one, the only, Yomarz couch. Or futon, to be specific. Currently adorned with a bunch of pillows, including some Star Wars ones. Cause nothing says Sith Lord like matching throw pillows. Above the couch I've got 3 posters, and I just noticed the bottom part of the frame just fell off. My Mario and Mass Effect posters are neat, I guess, but my real pride and joy is, of course, my Miami Connection poster. With a custom painted sky blue frame, by the way. I'm a big fan of watching bad movies, and this is one of my favorite, if not my favorite bad movie of all time. If you don't know, Miami Connection is a movie about a taekwondo rock band that has to fight a team of motorcycle riding, cocaine smuggling ninjas. And it's the worst. Do yourself a favor and check it out. But this is all the on-screen side of the room. All this stuff has appeared on camera here and there during my show. But what you've never ever seen is... Here is where I have all my consoles. All of them are hooked up to switcher boxes, run through Elgato capture cards connected to my computer, and are outputted onto my TV. The 2 switchers I have are this basic 5-input HDMI switcher for my HD consoles and tablet, and this 8-input composite video switcher. Yeah, I know, it's shitty quality for an HD TV. I really want to switch to RGB and use a FrameMeister upscaler someday like the My Life and Gaming guys do. But it's ridiculously expensive. For now, composite video will have to do. And if I need to get cleaner video capture for old games, there's always other options like Virtual Console, playing PS1 games on PS3 and Xbox games on 360, and, well, you know. On top of the shelf, I've got more neat things like my Mario Edition white new 3DS. Yes, I waited in line on Black Friday like a crazy person for that $99 deal. A cool little 3D printed Cloud figure that I picked up at Too Many Games last year. The shark I painted at a paint your own pottery place, by the way. And more Legos! Please help. Oh, I've also got a Hylian shield and a Master Sword. They're kind of beat up now. The story behind this is that in middle school I tried to make an Ocarina of Time feature-length movie. Needless to say, it didn't work out. And here is where the magic happens. I've got a Windows 10 PC with an NVIDIA GTX 980 graphics card, an AMD FX 9590 8-core processor, and a fuck ton of hard drive space. 12.5 terabytes of internal storage, which is mainly used up by videos shot for my show, other video work I do, and the hours upon hours of game capture footage that I have stored on this machine. It's ridiculous. In terms of display, I have a 2K 144Hz Asus ROG Swift PG279Q IPS monitor as my main display for gaming and general use, and a 4K 60Hz Asus PB287Q as my secondary screen. When I edit, I use Adobe Premiere Pro CC, by the way. I set up my workspace so that all the editing happens on the left screen while the 4K screen displays the video. Here I've got my immobile Santa Claus video. At a distance, that seems pretty crazy. But that isn't even the worst of it. Here is my timeline for Shadow the Hedgehog. That's a 22-minute video. I was up like 2 nights in a row working on that shit. I do all my voiceover, like the voiceover you're hearing right now, by the way, meta, with my Audio Technica 2035 condenser mic that runs an XLR cable into my Focusrite 2i2 audio interface. I've also got this really neat laptop arm that I love. Not only does it bring me one step closer to turning my room into the ship from the Matrix, but it also allows me to do really convenient things like type up notes while I play console games instead of having to grab a pen and drag out this monstrosity. So starting with my Sonic Boom video, I now shoot in 4K using a Panasonic GH4 and an awesome Olympus 25mm f1.8 lens for that slick, shallow depth of field. The Sonic Boom video is not in 4K because I like having the freedom to resize things, but even at 1080p the increase in clarity is fantastic. In the future I might export in 2K though. I used to shoot with a Nikon D3300 and a 50mm f1.8, which is a great option and way cheaper than the GH4, so if you're looking for quality on a budget, I definitely recommend that. I guess I'm a Nikon guy in the war between Nikon and Canon DSLRs, but not because of any kind of fanboy allegiance or superiority complex. Nikons are just cheaper. And here's what my room looks like when I'm shooting. I have 3 lights, one direct face light, one kind of rear hair light, and a third light with a colored gel pointed at the shelves for the background. My camera gets shoved all the way to the wall, and I plot my Zoom H4n audio recorder a few feet from my face, but hidden out of frame to capture my audio. Yeah, it's a cramped space. So in the end, you kind of get a video that looks like this with the colored background and everything. I usually try to make the gel match the game I'm playing, like Star Wars Demolition was red and blue because Star Wars. Alien was green, Sonic was blue. But I usually want to use a gel, and sometimes it's kind of vague, like I don't know what color represents it, so Indiana Jones was red and yellow. I don't know. I try my best. Yeah, sometimes it's really difficult and claustrophobic working in here. It's a pretty small room, like I've had dorm rooms way bigger than this. But I like it, and I've personalized it to the brim. So I guess that's about it. Hope you enjoyed the tour. Hope it clarified any of the mystique around how Yomarz is made. So if you have any questions regarding any of the things I covered here, or if you have questions about your own video setup, please leave a comment down below. I mean, I'm not really an expert, but I can totally help with equipment recommendations or anything like that. Oh, and by the way, this video is brought to you by all my awesome backers on Patreon. If you want to go and support the show, I have a link in the description down below, and there's one in the credits starting right now. Oh, and also I'm totally using my laptop as a prompter right now. Isn't this arm thing great? This is how bad I am at improv.